Hello, kababayan, and hello, YouTubers. Today, I'm going to be discussing about the important updates. I'm not going to give you any garbage. I'm not going to waste your time because there's a lot of updates over there or somewhere, but they just give you the same garbage. I'm not going to do that to you guys because I know your time is very important. All right, so let me first reintroduce myself so you guys know where I'm coming from. I started going to the Philippines in 2016. I go back and forth. I travel about 5 to 6 times a year, regardless of the COVID situation. I still flew because I'm getting ready to retire. I already purchased a house, couple of cars. I'm getting ready to slide in there and retire in the Philippines. Yes, I look young, but it doesn't mean anything about retirement. Okay, so I don't have to be old to retire. Yes, I do look young for some people, but I'm an old man. All right, let's move on with that. So I travel back and forth 5 to 6 times a year. So my experience in traveling is very immense, I think. I know how the airports work. Okay, I'm not gonna give you guys some bad information and you guys caught, left holding the bag and then you guys suffer. I'm not gonna do that to you guys. All right, so just to show you guys, I think these stickers, they started giving out the stickers when you fly back to US when they check your luggage. And I believe they started doing this in the late 2020s or 2021. Probably late 20s. But anyways, and that shows you how many times I traveled. So yes, I'm well experienced when it comes traveling from America to Philippines and back and forth. So I have a great idea what's going on. Now, what's my experience when it comes to COVID restrictions? Well, in the beginning of Trace apps, when they first introduced Trace apps, I was one of the passengers to get one of those. Back then, the Trace apps was introduced so that when a passenger, let me backtrack, so that if one of the passengers on the plane gets sick, they're able to message you through that Trace apps to let you know that one of the person inside the plane had COVID. That's all it is. I asked a lot of people involved in that apps, are they tracing me to see where I'm at? And they all said no, it's just a means of communication. Because I was paranoid because of my privacy. I don't want people to know where I'm at. So it wasn't tracing apps. It's actually a bad name. It's not a good name. Trace apps. So they came up with this dumb name, but actually it's just a means of communication to let you know one of your passenger, at least one, is infected with COVID. That's all it was. Remember back then, everybody was panicking about the illness. Everybody was afraid of it because nobody knows what it was. So, do you still need the Trace apps? I still do. I still have it on my phone. The last time I flew to Philippines back in November 2021, they asked me if I have it on my phone, and I said yes, and that was good enough. But back in 2020, when this COVID first initially started, they wanted to see it on your phone. They actually want to check it out to make sure you do have it. But last time I did this, they just asked me and they believed me. Now, the One Health Pass, that's already been established a long time ago. Everybody must have a One Health Pass. All passengers. Okay, they want to know everybody's information, health status, and COVID status, and vaccine status, and all that stuff. That's all what it is for. And then from there, they can derive if you need to be quarantined or not. Okay, so it makes it easier for them. It makes it easier for all the passengers as well. So One Health Pass is also for everybody. So let me recap. Trace apps, just have it on your phone. One Health Pass, fill it out. That's for everybody. Now, March 1st, they introduced some news. A lot of people got excited, but I wasn't. Why? Because they only announced the alert level decreasing to a lower number. When I was in the Philippines, whether the alert level increased or lowered, it didn't matter. It didn't change my life. Because the alert level was particularly affecting only the minors and the senior citizen. My age, it didn't affect me. I drove to the store. I drove to the market and got some grocery. Basically, I lived my life a normal life because I drove. But if I didn't have a means of transportation, then yeah, that would have changed my life because the tricycle, the Jeep, and the bus, when the alert level increases, those public transportation are not available. But if you have transportation like I do, then it doesn't affect you. So the alert level has nothing to do with international travel. International travel and all the immigration stuff, the COVID status, and all this restriction is still in effect. No changes. So don't get too excited. Just to give you guys an idea what this alert level does to the community in the Philippines. If the level increases higher than 1, the minors and the senior citizen, they can't go outside. They can't even go to the mall. They can't even go to the store to get some food. And they can't even upload or put load on their cell phone. And to me, that's discrimination, especially for the senior citizen. Because it changed their lifestyle, the quality of life of the senior citizen. The alert level, it messes them up. I don't know why they're doing this. I have no answer to that. Anyway, so alert level 1, that means a minors and senior citizen, you can go outside and do whatever you want. Alert level 1 means it's like America. Just put a mask on. Okay? Alert level 1 means just mask on. Just like America, right? Here in America, we just put our mask on. We do whatever we want, right? All right, so that's what the March 1st news was about. The lowering the number of the alert level. But for us travelers coming from America, Canada, or UK, whatever, the alert level doesn't really mean a thing to us because it doesn't change our flight status or our international travel. But it did change a little bit, though. It did affect it because now, when you're traveling to Naiya, the Manila airport, and then you want to go to Cebu or some other island, you can just hop onto the next plane and you go. There's no quarantine. And then because the alert level is lower, you get to Cebu or whatever island it is. I only know Cebu because I don't really know the other islands yet. You get over there. Of course, now the public transportation is utilized or more easier to utilize. Now you can get on a tricycle, your Jeep, whatever, right? So that's all. But all the rules, the regulation, the restriction of the flight coming from different country going to Philippines, it has not changed. Okay, so don't get confused with the excitement of the news being announced in March 1st. Okay, it didn't change our life or our travel to the Philippines. I just want to make sure everybody's are well informed. All right, just to recap, if you're a Filipino citizen, green card holder, dual citizen, you don't need travel insurance. And if you're not fully vaccinated, you have to have a 5-day quarantine. Now, for former Filipinos, you need travel insurance. You have to be fully vaccinated. No quarantine. Foreigners, EO 408 or the visa required foreigners, you need, well, hold on a second. You need a, let me see. So, foreigners, you need travel insurance. Let me shut this off because it's really bothering me. So if you're sorry about that, guys. I do these tapes when I do these videos. It's live. I don't edit it. Man, I'm turning red because I lost track of what I'm saying. Hey, man, forgive me, guys. All right, so I don't edit, so all this stuff, the emotion that you're seeing is all real. So if you're a foreigner, you need to have travel insurance. Okay, so if you're a foreigner, you're coming from the visa required or non-visa required, you gotta have travel insurance and you gotta be fully vaccinated. Now, for further details of the travel restriction, I will leave the link on the video underneath. There's a box which says description. When you're watching the video, underneath there's a description. I will leave a link there, and you click on that and you'll watch another video, and it will give you more details of what I'm talking about. Because I don't want to give you too much information here and then you lose exactly what the bottom line is, right? Okay, once again, I apologize for my reaction when the phone rang. That's another subscriber asking questions, and I totally blanked out. I lost my position here in my my blog. Anyway, so let's move on, guys. Man, should I shut off my phone in the future? All right, so let's do the bottom line. The bottom line is right now, the 48-hour RT-PCR test. That number, the 48-hour is the initial. How do I say this? If your flight is on Wednesday 10 a.m., you back it up 48 hours. So you end up on Monday 10 a.m. From Monday 10 a.m. to Wednesday 10 a.m., which is 48 hours, that time allotted to you, or the window, 48-hour window, that 48 hours, there's something you need to do. You need to be able to test for your PCR test. You need to get your test result. You need to upload it to the One Health Pass, and then load your vaccine cards, if that's applicable, and then get your QR code from the One Health Pass before you check in for your flight. So that's 48 hours right there. And some people are asking, when does it start? Because they're taking in a different flight. It's depending on your itinerary. Okay, let me break that down. Let's say I bought a ticket to fly from San Francisco to Manila. My ticket says San Francisco Airport to Japan layover, from Japan to Philippines. So the question is, when does the 48 hours starts? Well, it starts at San Francisco and you back it up 48 hours. Okay? So that's how you do it. The layover doesn't affect you. As long as you stay in the airport, you're fine. Now, I'm from Los Angeles. I'm about an hour away from, actually an hour and a half from LAX. I live in Santa Clarita. If I bought a ticket from LAX to San Francisco because I don't want to drive that far, my 48-hour RT-PCR does not start from LAX. The LAX to San Francisco got nothing to do with my itinerary. That's me choosing to fly from LAX to San Francisco instead of driving. Okay, so I hope it clears that portion of the 48-hour RT-PCR stuff. All right. The other thing I want to talk about is the One Health Pass. We've been having problems with the One Health Pass because, no, I don't know why. Many of our people, they upload the negative RT-PCR test, they upload their vaccine card, and they're still getting a note or a message that they are required to do mandatory quarantine. That is incorrect. We have one person yesterday night. Yesterday night. I'm losing track of the days now. Well, his QR code indicates that he needs to do quarantine time or days, even though he has vaccine, he's fully vaccinated, and even though he has a negative RT-PCR test. So I'm waiting for him to update me if when he lands in the Philippines, they will not give him any quarantine time, or they will give him quarantine time. I'm waiting for him to respond to me. Meanwhile, I messaged the BOQ to respond to me, and so far they haven't responded. So here I am. I got no news for you guys about that. And about an hour ago, there's another gentleman in our group. He uploaded his RT-PCR test, which is a negative. He loaded his vaccine card, and he got a mandatory quarantine. So the One Health Pass is broken. Keep your documents, guys. All right, I don't want to keep you guys. Here it is. Here's my update so far. I love you guys. I love you, YouTubers. Peace out.